Is you a commie? I mean, I ain't no social agency. You got to think of Sweet Daddy's image. I reserve the right to just jump in and punch up the story or you when necessary. See, the fact is I was trying to find this poker game. We got a game, ain't no big stakes, man, but we gamble. Oh, no, just two jack-off artists trying to find some action because they can't get it up for each other no more. People.
You say $2?
$8.
Oh, $4. Fine, I'll take it.
$5, and you got it. Gotcha.
Did y'all hear about the time Teddy Wilson allegedly pulled a gun on a Good Times producer over a script disagreement? Chow. The drama behind those studio doors would make the show's plots look like child's play. Today, we're diving deep into the life of Teddy Wilson, the man who brought the iconic pimp and numbers runner Sweet Daddy Williams to life on Good Times.
You understand me?
But trust me when I say, the real tea about Teddy's life will have your jaw on the floor. Theodore R. Wilson wasn't born with a silver spoon, friend. Born December 10, 1943 in New York City, Teddy was a Harlem kid who had to fight for everything he got. But let me tell you something about this man. He had charisma for days, even as a young boy performing in neighborhood talent shows. But wait till you hear what job he had before acting that he never wanted the public to know about. We'll get to that scandal in just a minute. Teddy served in the Army during the Vietnam era, and rumor has it that's where he developed both the discipline that would serve his career and the temper that would later get him into hot water with Hollywood executives. The 1970s were Teddy's time to shine. Before landing his recurring role on Good Times,
I mean, you putting words in my mouth.
Well, JJ, let me tell you something. It's either that or Knuckles.
he appeared in films like Cotton Comes to Harlem
I found it. I finally found that bale of cotton.
and Black Eye. But what many don't know is that Teddy was actually rejected for Good Times 3 times before finally convincing producers to give him a chance. Can y'all imagine if they'd stuck with that decision? Sweet Daddy Williams would have been played by somebody else.
That will not be necessary, JJ, because Sweet Daddy is already taking care of that.
Drop a comment below if you think nobody could have played that role better than Teddy. The character of Sweet Daddy was only supposed to appear in 1 episode, but Teddy brought so much flavor and authenticity to the role that audiences went wild, forcing producers to bring him back again and again. Now let's get into what really happened behind the scenes of Good Times.
Daddy. Bless you.
Oh, God.
First things first, Teddy Wilson and John Amos, who played James Evans,
Jane, a gorgeous hunk of woman here.
were thick as thieves off camera, but their relationship with Jimmy Walker, JJ, was a whole other story. Multiple cast members have revealed that Teddy despised the dynamite catchphrase
A dynamite!
and felt it made a mockery of Black people. This led to heated arguments with producers that sometimes delayed filming for hours. But that wasn't even the biggest drama on set. According to a crew member who spoke anonymously years later, Teddy once refused to come out of his dressing room for an entire day because the script had Sweet Daddy using what Teddy called coon language. He demanded the writers change the dialogue or he wouldn't shoot the scene. But what happened next reveals just how far the network was willing to go to keep their stars happy or shut them up. The executive producer allegedly offered Teddy double his day rate to read the lines as written. Want to know if he took the money or stood his ground? Stay tuned. Now about that gun story I teased earlier. In 1976, during season 4 of Good Times, tensions reached a boiling point. According to 3 separate sources who were present that day, Teddy got into a heated argument with a white producer who suggested Sweet Daddy should be more stereotypically ghetto. The argument escalated until Teddy allegedly reached into his bag and pulled out what appeared to be a handgun. Now, before y'all start typing furiously in the comments, witnesses later clarified it was most likely a prop gun from another set. But child, the damage was done. Security was called, filming shut down for the day, and Teddy was nearly fired on the spot. The only thing that saved his job, the absolute flood of fan mail that came in for Sweet Daddy Williams. The network knew they couldn't lose him without losing viewers. Behind the cameras, Teddy Wilson's personal life was much more stable than the script suggested. He was married to actress Joan Pringle, a talented performer in her own right, who starred in shows like The White Shadow
I could get him fired if I wanted to.
and General Hospital. Their marriage was one of Hollywood's more enduring relationships, lasting until Teddy's untimely death in 1991. They had 3 children, Theodore Jr., Robert, and Nicole. Robert and Nicole were from Joan. What many people don't know is that Joan and Teddy met while working in theater before either of them became television stars.
He wasn't himself. He turned into this monster, a whole other person.
Their relationship was built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared artistic passion that withstood the pressures of Hollywood. Teddy and Joan's marriage was known for being remarkably drama-free in an industry filled with short-lived relationships. Friends of the couple often remarked on their genuine partnership, with Joan supporting Teddy through his health challenges and career ups and downs. The real story that surprised many was how Teddy and Joan managed to keep their relationship strong despite working in different cities for extended periods. Joan was filming The White Shadow while Teddy was working on various projects, and their commitment to making their marriage work revealed a dedication that was rare in Hollywood circles. While some actors' personal lives generated tabloid headlines, Teddy and Joan focused on building their careers and supporting each other's artistic endeavors. They were widely respected in the industry not just for their talents, but for the stability they maintained in their personal lives during an era when celebrity relationships were often volatile. What many fans never knew was that Teddy battled serious health issues throughout much of his time on Good Times. Close friends revealed years later that he suffered from severe hypertension and had experienced at least 2 minor strokes while filming the show. Can you believe the man was literally having mini strokes, then getting up the next day to make us all laugh? That's dedication to the craft. Hit that like button if you respect how hard Black actors of that era had to work through everything. Teddy kept his health problems tightly under wraps, fearing the network would recast his role if they knew he was ill. He would often arrive to set early to compose himself if he wasn't feeling well, and would never let on to most cast members when he was suffering. Now, let's talk money, buddy. Despite appearing in one of the most popular shows of the 1970s, Teddy Wilson was reportedly one of the lowest paid recurring characters on Good Times.
Go over there and break the bones of the bony one.
When he discovered that white actors with similar screen time on other Norman Lear sitcoms were making nearly 3 times his salary, Teddy confronted the producers. Their response? You should be grateful for the opportunity. Oh, it was about to be a problem. Teddy then organized several of the Black actors on the show to demand equal pay, which led to what some crew members called the Week of Silence, where producers and certain actors refused to speak to each other, except when absolutely necessary for filming. The pay dispute never fully resolved, which explains why Sweet Daddy Williams' appearances became less frequent in later seasons. But the real financial scandal came years later when Teddy discovered syndication money was being distributed without his knowledge. The lawsuit he filed changed how actors' contracts handle residuals to this day. Perhaps the biggest mystery in Teddy Wilson's career was his sudden disappearance from Hollywood in the early 1980s. After Good Times ended, Teddy appeared in a few films and TV shows like The White Shadow and What's Happening, etc.
Man, me and the Doobies go back a long time. Really? Yeah, really.
Then seemingly vanished from the entertainment scene for nearly 2 years. Speculation ran wild. Some said he'd had a nervous breakdown. Others claimed he'd joined a religious cult. One particularly nasty rumor suggested he was in prison. The truth, much more complicated and heart-wrenching than anyone imagined. According to Teddy's brother in a rare interview years later, Teddy had actually returned to New York to care for their mother, who was dying of cancer. He put his entire career on hold, drained his savings, and stayed out of the spotlight completely to give her his full attention during her final months. But Hollywood has a short memory, and by the time Teddy tried to return to acting, many doors that had once been open to him were suddenly closed. How he fought his way back into the industry reveals exactly the kind of determination this man had. Teddy had to essentially restart his career from scratch, taking small guest roles on shows like The Golden Girls and The Red Fox Show.
Good evening, ladies. Welcome to Albert's Diner. I'm Albert, and Merry Christmas. Felicia, he has conned women all over the country. They're looking for him. He's a bad dude.
But it was his powerful turn in the film The Hunter alongside Steve McQueen that reminded Hollywood of his undeniable talent.
Hey, people, where the flash bulbs? I want to see the flash bulbs popping. There you go, all right.
What few people know is that Teddy was actually being considered for a groundbreaking lead role in a new CBS drama series, a role that could have made him one of the first Black dramatic leads on network television. He did get to star in Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh, man, today is going to be such a good day for you. Your daughter's going to be so proud of you.
A crime drama, but tragedy struck before the big opportunity could materialize. On July 21, 1991 in Los Angeles, at just 47 years old, Teddy Wilson passed away from a stroke. The entertainment industry lost a pioneer who had fought tirelessly against stereotypical portrayals of Black characters and paved the way for more authentic representation. At the time of his death, Teddy Wilson's net worth was estimated at approximately $750,000, modest by Hollywood standards, especially considering his contributions to one of television's most beloved sitcoms. Does that number shock y'all? Remember, this was before actors knew to fight for streaming rights and residuals like they do today. If you're surprised by how little these TV legends made, drop a wow in the comments. What's truly heartbreaking is that just before his death, Teddy had finally secured funding for his passion project, a documentary about the Harlem Renaissance that he had been trying to produce for years. The project was ultimately completed by his son, Theodore, as a tribute to his father, but Teddy never lived to see his dream realized. What's rarely discussed about Teddy Wilson is how many of today's Black actors cite him as an influence. In recent interviews, stars like Sterling K. Brown and Brian Tyree Henry have mentioned studying Teddy's performances and admiring how he brought dignity to roles that could have easily fallen into caricature. Even more impressive, the number of current Black television writers who credit Teddy's behind-the-scenes activism for creating opportunities they enjoy today. One prominent showrunner recently revealed that it was hearing about Teddy Wilson's fight against stereotypical dialogue that inspired them to become a writer in the first place. Teddy Wilson may not have been the biggest name to come out of Good Times.
What brings you to Sweet Daddy Banker C&P?
C&P?
That's right, brother. Cash and pain.
But his impact on Black representation in television was immeasurable. He fought battles behind the scenes that many actors wouldn't dare fight even today, risking his career and reputation to stand up for authentic portrayals of Black life.